Remember her? The twirling girl in white. She wasn't just selling washing powder, she was selling a revolution. But what happened to Nirma? How did a homegrown brand, once an undisputed king, lose its throne? This is the untold story of Nirma's meteoric rise and its dramatic fall, a story of innovation, disruption, and ultimately, missed opportunities. In the late 1960s, while India's elite were using expensive foreign detergents, Karsanbhai Patel worked as a lab technician in Gujarat's Department of Mining and Geology. But his story begins far from the corporate boardrooms and fancy laboratories. Every morning, he would watch his wife, like millions of Indian women, struggle with washing clothes. The only options available were expensive detergents like Surf, costing 13 rupee per kilo, that is roughly $0.15, an amount that could feed a family for days. For Karsanbhai, this wasn't just a market gap, it was a calling. During his day job, he handled various chemicals and understood their properties. But what set him apart was his burning desire to create something that would help the common man. In an era where the average Indian family earned less than 500 rupee per month, that is around $6 per month, spending 13 rupee on detergent was a luxury few could afford. This reality wasn't just a problem, it was an opportunity waiting for someone with the right vision. Living in the modest locality of Vadodara, Karsanbhai was surrounded by families facing the same challenge. He didn't just see customers, he saw neighbors, friends, and fellow Indians struggling with a basic need. This understanding would become the foundation of what we now know as the Nirma Empire. Every evening after returning from his government job, Karsanbhai would watch the women in his neighborhood washing clothes. Each scrub, each rinse told the same story. India needed a solution that was both effective and affordable. As the city slept, Karsanbhai's real work would begin. In a small backyard of his home, armed with his chemistry knowledge and determination, he started experimenting with different chemical combinations. Night after night, he mixed various ingredients, tested formulations, and refined his product. His goal was simple, yet ambitious: create a detergent that would cost 1/3 of what multinational brands were charging, without compromising on quality. But this story takes a poignant turn. In 1969, tragedy struck the Patel household. Karsanbhai lost his beloved daughter, Nirupama. Some might have been broken by such loss, but Karsanbhai channeled his grief into purpose. He named his creation Nirma, a tribute to his daughter that would live on forever. The first batches of Nirma were packaged in simple polythene bags. No fancy packaging, no expensive marketing, just a quality product at 3 rupee per kilo, that is $0.035 in dollar. That's right, 3 rupee compared to Surf's 13 rupee. Every morning, before heading to his government job, Karsanbhai would leave batches of Nirma on his bicycle. Every evening, after work, he would go door to door, offering a money-back guarantee that was unheard of at the time. "If you don't like it, I'll return your money," he would say. But returns were rare, the product worked, and word began to spread. Women in Ahmedabad started asking for Karsanbhai no powder, Karsanbhai's powder. Let's put this in perspective. In 1969, Surf, 13 rupee per kilo, Nirma, 3 rupee per kilo, average monthly income, 500 rupee ki. Within the first year, operating from his backyard, Karsanbhai was selling 15 to 20 packets a day. By the second year, demand had grown so much that his bicycle routes weren't enough. This wasn't just about selling detergent anymore. Karsanbhai had stumbled upon a fundamental truth about the Indian market: the power of affordable quality. He wasn't just creating a product, he was starting a revolution in Indian consumer goods. But little did the multinational giant know that this humble chemist, working from his backyard, was about to change the rules of the game forever. The Indian detergent market of the 1970s was a fortress dominated by multinational giants. Surf ruled supreme, treating the Indian middle class as an afterthought, but they were about to witness something unprecedented. In 1975, while Surf controlled 80% of the market, something remarkable was happening in Gujarat. Nirma wasn't just selling, it was spreading like wildfire through word of mouth. By 1969, Karsanbhai took his biggest risk yet. He invested in a small production unit in Vadodara. The backyard chemist was now an industrialist, but with a difference. Main quality mein compromise nahi karunga. I won't compromise on quality, became his mantra. Despite the low price point, every batch was tested rigorously. The formula might have been simpler than Surf's, but it did what Indian consumers needed: clean clothes effectively at an affordable price. Nirma's strategy was brilliant in its simplicity. Target the forgotten middle class. Maintain consistent quality. Keep prices low through efficient production. Build trust through personal guarantees. Expand gradually but steadily. For the first time, we could buy detergent without thinking twice, recalls a housewife from that period. It was our own Indian company understanding our needs. The numbers were staggering. 1975, 100 tons per day. 1976, 300 tons per day. 1977, 500 tons per day. The sleeping giants were about to wake up. What Nirma did wasn't just business innovation, explains market analyst Rajiv Kumar. It was market creation. They turned non-consumers into consumers. The response from established players was telling. First ignorance, then disbelief, and finally, panic. How could a local Indian brand, with no international backing, create such disruption? But Karsanbhai wasn't done yet. Each success fueled expansion. Every new territory conquered led to another challenge. The small production unit grew into multiple facilities. What set Nirma apart wasn't just its price point, it was the culture of efficiency. Every aspect of production was optimized: local sourcing of raw materials, minimal advertising costs, direct distribution networks, low overhead expenses. By the end of the 1970s, the impossible had happened. A homegrown brand had not just entered the market, it had fundamentally changed it. But the real battle was just beginning. The multinational giants were preparing their counterattack. How would this small Gujarat-based company face the incoming storm? If you lived in India during the 1980s, there was one tune you couldn't escape. A melody so catchy, it would become part of the national consciousness. Washing powder Nirma, washing powder Nirma, doodh si safedi, Nirma se aaye, ranjin kabda bhi khil khil jaye. In an era before social media, before digital marketing, before viral content, Karsanbhai Patel created something that would echo through generations. The Nirma jingle wasn't just an advertisement, it was a cultural phenomenon. What made the Nirma campaign revolutionary wasn't its budget, explains veteran ad guru Prasoon Joshi. It was its simplicity. While other brands were selling lifestyle, Nirma focused on the product's core promise: whiteness and cleanliness. At the center of this marketing masterpiece was a simple image: a little girl twirling in a white dress. She wasn't a supermodel or a movie star. She represented the joy of cleanliness, the happiness of pristine white clothes. This was the Nirma Girl, becoming perhaps India's most recognized brand mascot. The genius lay in repetition. Whether you were in Mumbai or Madras, Delhi or Darjeeling, the message remained consistent. The same jingle, the same visuals, the same promise. In marketing terms, this was breakthrough thinking, building brand recall through persistent, consistent communication. While multinational competitors spent fortunes on sophisticated campaigns, Nirma invested in reach. The yellow packaging became a familiar sight in small shops across India. The distribution strategy was clear: be present everywhere, from city supermarkets to village grocery stores. We didn't need to ask for detergent anymore, remembers Shanta Ben, a housewife from Surat. We would just hum the tune, and the shopkeeper knew exactly what we wanted. The contrast was stark. While Surf spent crores on glossy advertisements, Nirma's marketing was minimalist, yet effective. The savings from marketing were passed directly to consumers, reinforcing the value proposition. As television reached more Indian homes in the 1980s, the Nirma jingle became more than an advertisement. It became a timekeeper in Indian households. When the Nirma ad played, children knew it was time for their favorite shows. The impact went beyond sales. The jingle became a part of popular culture. It was parodied, celebrated, and embedded in the collective memory of a nation. Marketing students studied it, competitors tried to replicate it, but none could match its simple effectiveness. Even today, decades later, 9 out of 10 Indians can hum the Nirma tune, reveals a recent brand study. That's not just marketing success, that's cultural integration. But success breeds competition. As Nirma's jingle echoed across the nation, the giants of the industry were planning their comeback. The stage was set for one of the most fascinating corporate battles in Indian history. By the mid-1980s, what started as a minor irritant for Hindustan Lever had become their worst nightmare. The local upstart from Gujarat wasn't just surviving, it was thriving. In 1975, Surf owned 80% of India's detergent market. By 1985, something unthinkable had happened. Nirma had captured 60% of the market. The giant was bleeding, and for the first time, they were scared. Emergency meetings were called in Hindustan Lever's boardrooms. The multinational giant had underestimated this local player for too long. Their response would reshape the Indian detergent market forever. The battle lines were drawn. Hindustan Lever launched Wheel in 1988, directly targeting Nirma's market. Price wars erupted across the country. The detergent war had begun. What we witnessed was unprecedented, recalls market analyst Harsh Goenka. A multinational corporation was forced to create a new product category because of an Indian company. This had never happened before. Wheel matched Nirma's prices. Television advertisements became more aggressive. Both companies fought for shelf space in small shops. But Nirma had one advantage: the trust of the Indian middle class. While Hindustan Lever had superior technology, Nirma had manufacturing efficiency. Karsanbhai's chemical background meant he could optimize production costs in ways his competitors couldn't imagine. The battle moved from factories to streets. Nirma's distribution network, built over years of personal relationships, proved resilient. Small shopkeepers remembered how Nirma had given them margins when no one else would. For us, Nirma wasn't just another company, says Ramesh Patel, a retailer since 1975. It was our company, our brand. We had seen it grow from nothing. The multinational response revealed something crucial. Nirma had changed the rules. No longer could foreign companies ignore the bottom of the pyramid. The Indian consumer had found their voice. As the battle intensified, both companies innovated. New variants emerged. Premium segments were explored. The Indian consumer was the ultimate winner. More choices, better quality, lower prices. Despite Hindustan Lever's massive resources, they couldn't dislodge Nirma. The market had expanded. There was room for both, but Nirma had achieved something remarkable. It had forced a global giant to play by its rules. We never saw it as a war, Karsanbhai would later say. We simply focused on what we did best, serving the Indian consumer with quality products at affordable prices. This wasn't just a corporate battle. It was a validation of the Indian entrepreneurial spirit. A small company from Gujarat had taken on a global giant and held its ground. But the story wasn't over yet. As the dust settled on this epic battle, Nirma faced a new challenge, evolving beyond its core market. The question was, could the disruptor become an innovator? As the calendar turned to the 1990s, Nirma stood at a crossroads. The company that revolutionized the detergent market faced a crucial question. What next? The answer came in waves of expansion. The small factory in Gujarat had grown into a manufacturing powerhouse, but Karsanbhai's vision extended far beyond detergents. First came soaps. Using the same principle of quality at affordable prices, Nirma soap quickly captured the market. Then came toothpaste, shampoos, and beauty products. The Yellow Girl logo now appeared on an ever-growing range of products. The expansion wasn't just horizontal. Nirma backward integrated into industrial chemicals, salt works, soda ash plants, and chemical manufacturing facilities sprouted across Gujarat. What started in a backyard was now an industrial empire. But perhaps Karsanbhai's most surprising move came in 1995. In Ahmedabad, he established Nirma University. "Education changed my life," he said, "and now it's time to give back." The university would become one of India's premier educational institutions. Nirma's ambitions crossed national borders. The brand entered Bangladesh, then Pakistan, and soon reached Middle Eastern markets. The formula remained the same: understand local needs, offer quality, keep prices reasonable. The family-run business transformed into a professional organization. Modern management practices were adopted, but the core values remained unchanged. Efficiency, affordability, and quality continued to drive every decision. With success came responsibility. Nirma Foundation launched initiatives in healthcare, rural development, and women's empowerment. The company that rose from the middle class never forgot its roots. The most ambitious expansion came in 2020. Nirma acquired Emami Cement for 5,500 crores, that is $634 million, entering the cement industry. The message was clear. Nirma was no longer just a detergent company, it was a conglomerate. Working at Nirma means being part of a legacy, says Rajesh Shah, a 25-year veteran. We're not just selling products, we're continuing a revolution that started in someone's backyard. By 2020, Nirma's annual turnover exceeded 7,000 crores, that is $806 million. The workforce grew from one man on a bicycle to over 15,000 employees. Production facilities spread across multiple states. Success never changed Karsanbhai's fundamental approach. He remained hands-on, visiting factories, meeting workers, ensuring quality standards were maintained. The billionaire businessman never forgot his days as a door-to-door salesman. But with expansion came new challenges: environmental concerns, changing consumer preferences, and digital transformation would test Nirma's adaptability. The question was, could the disruptor of yesterday become the innovator of tomorrow? As Nirma grew larger, dark clouds were gathering on the horizon. The next chapter would test everything the company stood for. Success stories often gloss over the struggles, but to understand Nirma's true resilience, we must look at its darkest hours. The first major crisis hit in 2001. Environmental activists raised concerns about Nirma's soda ash plant near the Bhavnagar coast. Local farmers claimed the project threatened their agricultural land and water resources. The legal battles began. Supreme Court hearings, environmental impact studies, and public protests followed. For the first time, Nirma's reputation faced serious scrutiny. The company that prided itself on serving the common man now faced opposition from the very people it claimed to represent. Simultaneously, changing consumer preferences created new challenges. The rise of washing machines demanded different formulations. Premium brands with specialized products started eating into Nirma's market share. By 2010, Nirma's once dominant market share had declined significantly. New players like Gadi entered the market using Nirma's own playbook, lower prices and wider distribution. The disruptor was being disrupted. The retail landscape transformed. Modern trade, supermarkets, and e-commerce changed how Indians bought detergents. Nirma's traditional distribution strength in small shops became less relevant. The yellow packets weren't as visible on organized retail shelves. Young consumers, particularly in urban areas, shifted towards premium products. They wanted specialized detergents, liquid formats, fabric conditioners, gentle wash solutions. Nirma's one-size-fits-all approach showed its limitations. Multinational companies launched aggressive marketing campaigns. With deeper pockets and global research capabilities, they introduced innovations faster. Nirma found itself playing catch-up. Production costs rose. Raw material prices increased. The low price advantage that once defined Nirma became harder to maintain without compromising margins. The efficient manufacturing model faced new pressures. The digital revolution posed another challenge. While competitors invested heavily in e-commerce and digital marketing, Nirma's traditional approach seemed outdated. The iconic jingle that once reached every household didn't resonate with smartphone-wielding millennials. Questions about succession planning emerged. As Karsanbhai aged, industry watchers wondered whether the next generation could maintain his vision and values. The entrepreneurial spirit that built Nirma needed to evolve into professional management. The company initiated painful but necessary changes. Some products were discontinued, factories were modernized, distribution strategies were revisited. It was time for Nirma to reinvent itself. But throughout these challenges, one thing remained constant: Nirma's fighting spirit. The same determination that once drove a chemist to sell door to door would now drive the company's transformation. As the storm clouds gathered, Nirma faced a choice: adapt or fade away. The next chapter would reveal whether this Indian icon could rise again. They say great companies aren't defined by their success, but by how they handle adversity. Nirma's response to its challenges would prove this true. The transformation began at the core. Nirma invested over 2,500 crores, that is $289 million, in modernizing its manufacturing facilities. State-of-the-art automation systems replaced older processes. Quality control reached international standards. In a quiet corner of Ahmedabad, Nirma's new R&D center hummed with activity. Scientists, many educated at Nirma University, worked on next-generation products. The company that once made a single detergent now developed specialized solutions. 2015 marked a turning point. Nirma launched its premium product line. Liquid detergents, fabric conditioners, and specialized cleaners joined the familiar powder. The Yellow Girl logo now appeared on sophisticated packaging designed for modern retail shelves. The digital leap was equally bold. E-commerce partnerships were forged. Social media campaigns replaced traditional advertising. The iconic jingle found new life in viral marketing campaigns. Younger consumers discovered Nirma in new ways. Environmental consciousness became a priority. Solar panels appeared on factory roofs. Water recycling systems were installed. The company that once faced environmental criticism now led industry sustainability efforts. Professional management transformed operations. Young MBAs worked alongside veteran employees. Global best practices were adopted while maintaining Nirma's core values of efficiency and affordability. The export business received fresh focus. Nirma products reached 35 countries. International quality certifications were obtained. The local brand went truly global. Understanding modern consumers became crucial. Market research teams studied changing preferences. Product development aligned with new needs. Customer feedback shaped innovation. The traditional distribution network evolved. While maintaining its strength in small shops, Nirma built modern supply chains. Real-time inventory management and automated ordering systems improved efficiency. The brand message evolved too. While affordability remained important, quality and innovation took center stage. Nirma wasn't just about cheap detergent anymore. It was about smart choices for modern consumers. Perhaps most significantly, Nirma diversified strategically. The acquisition of Imami Cement showed the company's ambition to become a diversified conglomerate. The detergent maker was now an industrial powerhouse. Investment in people matched investment in technology. Training programs, career development paths, and performance-based growth opportunities attracted fresh talent. The workforce transformed. By 2022, Nirma looked very different from its humble beginnings. Yet, somehow, Karsanbhai's original vision remained intact: serve Indian consumers with quality products at reasonable prices. As Nirma entered its sixth decade, the question wasn't just about business success anymore. It was about legacy. What would be the lasting impact of this remarkable Indian story? Some companies make products, others change industries. But rare are those that transform a nation's business culture. Nirma belongs to this elite club. The numbers tell one part of the story. From a one-man operation to a 7,000 crore empire, that is $806 million at present. From a single detergent to a conglomerate spanning chemicals, cement, and consumer goods. From zero to over 15,000 employees. But Nirma's real impact goes beyond balance sheets, explains Dr. Rajiv Kumar, economist. It proved that an Indian company could take on global giants. It showed that understanding local consumers was more valuable than foreign technology. Through Nirma University, over 12,000 students graduate annually. Engineers, managers, pharmacists, and lawyers, all carrying forward Karsanbhai's belief that education transforms lives. The university ranks among India's top private educational institutions. In Gujarat alone, Nirma's ecosystem supports over 50,000 indirect jobs. Distributors, retailers, suppliers, entire communities built their futures around the company's growth. This wasn't just business, it was nation building. The Nirma model became a case study in business schools. Its principles, frugal innovation, deep market understanding, and operational efficiency, influenced a generation of Indian entrepreneurs. Startups still quote the Nirma story as inspiration. Villages near Nirma facilities saw transformational change. Schools were built, healthcare centers established, women's empowerment programs launched. The company remembered its roots in middle-class India. Nirma set new standards in Indian manufacturing. First to achieve zero liquid discharge in its category, pioneer in backward integration, leader in cost optimization, benchmark for distribution efficiency. Recent years saw Nirma leading environmental consciousness. Solar power adoption, water conservation, and sustainable packaging became priority. The company that began with simple chemistry now champions green technology. International recognition followed. Harvard Business School featured Nirma's story. Global consultants studied its model. Foreign companies sought to understand its success in penetrating rural markets. At 89, Karsanbhai Patel remains remarkably grounded. Still lives simply. Still visits factories. Still believes in the power of affordable quality. His personal wealth exceeds billions, but his values remain unchanged. Looking ahead, Nirma's legacy shapes its future. New ventures in cement, expansion in chemicals, modern consumer products, all follow the original principle: serve Indian consumers with excellence and affordability. The dancing girl in white, the unforgettable jingle, these aren't just marketing elements anymore. They're part of India's cultural fabric. Ask any Indian about Nirma and watch memories light up their faces. Perhaps Nirma's greatest legacy is hope. Hope that with determination, innovation, and understanding of your market, anything is possible. That a small idea from a backyard in Gujarat can become a blueprint for Indian business success. As we conclude this remarkable journey, one question remains. What lessons can future generations learn from the Nirma story? Remember to ring that notification bell, because next week we're exploring another incredible story that most history books won't tell you about. This is Bites of Goats, where we don't just talk about history, we learn from it. See you in the next one.